Hi, my name's Regina.
And my name's Mardi.
And you are you.
Oh my God, I have total dysphoria. It's like my hand looks so big. I look like, oh my God, I look at that big man's hand.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Do you ever do that when you're like in when you're on camera and you're sitting there and you're talking and then you go, oh God, don't do that. Because it looks like it's way too big. That's why if you notice, all the trans girls, when they're taking pictures, they always have their body back like this. And then their hips look bigger. See?
Oh, yeah.
So hi everybody. What are we gonna do? We're gonna just talk shit for a little bit.
I thought we were going to talk about having orgasm.
Oh yeah, we were going to talk about SRS and orgasm.
I don't have anything written, but I'll talk about it anyway.
Okay. Well, first let's talk about the sunglasses in the middle of the room.
Oh, everybody knows what those are for. Old news.
Oh, old news. Yeah, it's for anybody that's new. I just had cataract surgery on my left eye and a replacement lens put in with the power of my lens, because I'm I'm so freaking blind. So I get these special custom lens shipped from Germany because I'm so blind. And it's going to take 6 weeks for the other one to come in so I can have the other surgery. So I'm walking around and I can see out of one eye now without, lenses, of course. It's like, and the other one, I'm completely blind. So it's just pretty wonky. So if I get kind of wonky, that's my story and I'm sticking to it.
I would love to comment about your glasses. For those of us who are fans of the UFO genre and the little grays with the big black eyes, I love her glasses. I should have worn my little alien earrings in honor of Mardi.
Oh, that would have been great. Aw, well, you can do that for the other eye when I have that, and maybe I could be your model for your for that new batch of coffee for your bag for your UFO blend.
Oh, for my Mysterio. Oh,
I can hold the Mysterio.
Oh, that would be so good.
I'll rent you me for really cheap for that. Like I'll do it at cost.
Oh my God. Oh
I'll
my God.
Cost. You just gotta fly. You just gotta fly me.
Do it for a blowjob, but
oh my God. Now don't pull your stuff into this that we were talking about earlier about how she's on her Saturday escapades. Well, she calls it her farmer's market. Her farmer's market where she does trades. Yeah.
oh, my wildest dreams. Oh,
anyways, we're going to talk blowjobs and neo vaginas. Oh well, no, not blowjobs. We're going to talk neo vagina, but we'll do blowjobs. We'll do blowjobs another day. Blowjobs another day.
No. No, we're never going to talk about blowjobs.
Well, I like to talk about blowjobs sometimes because I have some trauma about that. I have blowjob trauma.
Okay.
Tiggy and I used to walk around like this as kids because we used to do so much survival work in cars, if you know what I mean.
Right. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you about. Is I watched The Stroll last night.
You watched The Stroll?
Yeah. There's a movie called The Stroll.
Oh yeah, it's brought to you by. It was made by oh, who's that trans woman? Yeah, there's a whole bunch of trans women that we know in it. Yeah.
Well, I didn't recognize any of the trans women, but
is it a documentary or is it actual?
It's a documentary out of New York City, and I'm sure that they're famous. I just don't know them.
Yeah, I know who they are. I can't remember the names, but they're friends with Angelica Ross and
Right, right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was really good.
It was
it was
really
good.
good.
And it
It what
talks about your experience.
was it?
And so the stroll, instead of being in Vancouver, was in New York City.
Yeah,
And it was in the meat market.
yeah, of New York City. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Meat
And
Market District. Yeah, that it was famous for a lot of trans workers and stuff,
right.
and the
And
peers and the peers.
it was just really a good
Mm,
eye-opening show.
great.
And for those of us who are unfamiliar with that past history of other transgender women, it's a good thing to watch and become aware of.
That's
I mean,
that's
I'm
awesome.
already aware of it because of I'm so familiar with your story,
Story. Yeah.
but they backed up everything that you talked about, and
Well,
and, and I mean it's I
yeah,
mean
every major city had a stroll,
yeah,
and that was our resource center back
that
then.
was your survival.
That's where we survived. That's where we learned about hormones. That's how we learned how to become women. Is
Yeah,
back then, like that was our LGBTQ centers. It was fucking crazy because it wasn't even safe. It wasn't even safe in the gay bars. Well, I'm sure there was in bigger cities, like there was somewhat, but to really learn the stuff, like you had to your best bet was to find it on the streets for sure. Yeah.
find a house
So
mother.
yeah, all that stuff. Yeah. Did you you watched it on what platform did you watch it on?
Apple TV, I think it was.
It is on Apple. Okay, good. I'll check that
Or
out because we.
Apple, or I'm sure it was Apple,
Oh, that's cool.
or
Well, that's
maybe it
fantastic.
was Max. The HBO
Oh,
Max.
HBO Max. Okay.
Yeah, one or those, one or the other.
Well, that's great because I remember, like on TikTok, when I'd ever mention the stroll, it's like so many people, especially young people, would say, "What does stroll mean? What does the stroll mean?" Like it's like I guess it is an old term, from back when.
Yeah, yeah.
Of a certain
I
age.
mean, some of those gals dated back into the 70s and 80s,
That's
and
great.
yeah, and
Yeah,
it probably went on before that to a certain extent.
the stroll. Here we go. Film 2023. Zachary Drucker. That's who it is. Zachary Drucker. Really, really cool kid. And I've been watching her since I started Twitter in 2014 when I first started. And she was really sucking up the knowledge from all her old from the older trans women that were around, like Flawless Sabrina in New York and stuff. She was really befriending a lot of those people. She's like the type of trans youth that I love because they're really into learning the history
Uh-huh.
and so that they can and so I'm so proud of her for doing this. This is amazing. That's so great. Thanks for telling me that. That's awesome. So the stroll, go watch it, everybody. Yay.
So the other thing I want to bring up, since you just brought up Twitter, was there was a headline this morning on across my feed about that jackass that owns Twitter now,
Right.
saying something imbecilic about
Oh, trans people. Oh yeah, that's like days old. He's an idiot. Oh, saying about cis
so
is a
why are you
he's saying
still
that
on Twitter?
saying that cis is a
Yeah, yeah,
cis will not be
it's a slur.
allowed on the platform anymore, that it's an offensive word. Like I know he's a total transphobe. It's crazy
Right. So why are you on Twitter?
because you can reach people. You can
Why
reach
are
other people
any of us on Twitter? I mean, don't you think that there gets to be a time when we have to say enough's enough?
until there's a platform that you can actually reach people that quickly, that amount of people. You know what I mean? Like it's getting harder and harder on every platform out there. like Instagram, TikTok. Like I'm taking the summer off of TikTok because I cannot believe how much they're suppressing my content. Like I even doing a live, like I used to get close to 1,000 people watching my lives when I'd go live,
Uh-huh.
during the day when I'm just, shits and giggles type of thing. Ever since Pride, and it's so weird for Pride Month too, they're suppressing so many people's content, especially unless you're like the Dylan Mulvaney's or Zaya or these other ones that I actually unfollowed them yesterday because I'm just, this is what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about what's going on in the world right now and how we have to step up and it's like and everybody that's got their brands type of thing and they just they touch on our plight every once in a while but um um this is they're suppressing us everywhere, like everywhere. And so like to answer your question, okay, Twitter, Instagram, everything, like get as much out as you can. So at least because we're so suppressed, at least, there's more chance of people hearing your stories. You know what I mean? Because, the whole reason, I'm on it is because I get hundreds of direct messages from like parents and young kids saying thank you for sharing your stories because I didn't believe that I could actually survive or they say that I could not because everybody around me tells me that that this is a new thing because and they're saying like where are all the people that are old then that are trans. It's like they're saying that proves that this is just a new fad. You know what I mean? Like it was just there's the odd person and it's like so we tell our stories to say AIDS happened. It's like we were so suppressed because you wouldn't let us to exist. You think they don't want us to exist now.
Right,
You
right.
fuck.
And
It's like it was like forget it. You couldn't do nothing. You had to pick, going to school or going to the street and figuring out how to be a woman. You know what I mean?
right.
Like
And
now you don't have to do that. So, anyways, let me just wrap this up in a bow, just really quickly. So, I've decided to take time off of TikTok, but that was my major one that I had been. I got a quarter million followers there, and they're just suppressing the fuck out of me there. And I'm also really pissed at a lot of these mutuals that have like tens of millions of followers that followed me in the beginning of their journeys and they were like, oh Marty, you crawled so we could fly and all that bullshit that I fucking hate when they say that. And it's like you think that they will stitch your videos, duet you. It's like when you're being suppressed, it's like if they would like say this is wrong, they're suppressing this content, like follow my friend or do this stuff, or even like what's going on in their different. I'm in Canada, but it's like if you're in the States, it's like why aren't people like going and marching in the streets, like gathering people to march in the streets with their tens of millions of followers that they have? Get that are not just trans, that are allies and everything, like whipping them up and getting them to march through the streets of fucking Tennessee or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's like because everybody's protecting their brand and it's like they're worried that they're gonna like get another fucking sponsorship pulled or something. You know what I mean? It's like and yesterday I just bottomed out with it and I thought, fuck this. I'm not gonna like bust my ass anymore talking stories, like re-traumatizing myself, telling my stories over and over and over again for this magazine or in fucking, there's another one in London, England that wants to talk to me now. And when it's like, I've been stepping up my whole fucking life to push this needle forward. And then when I see these young ones that are getting all of this notoriety, it's like, why aren't they, especially like I said, in the States, why aren't they gathering their freaking followers and starting marches and everything? Because if Gloria Steinem would have just worried about her brand back in the 60s, like women's rights would never have happened. We still wouldn't be able to have a fucking credit card. We still wouldn't even be able to have a mortgage unless our father or our husband signed on it. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I'm just so sick of it. And it's like, and then everybody's crying about, oh my God, it's like, it's so bad. It's like, well, yeah, it's like we need people to step up, like, of course, Laverne Cox and all these people that have been doing it for years, again, the brown and BIPOC, trans women again are the ones that are the most marginalized, and they're always doing the most work right from the beginning, like Angelica Ross and stuff like that too. Where are these white creators or just really young creators, even if you're BIPOC? It's like, get out there and freaking organize. You know what I mean? I get it. You want to get your surgeries and all that shit too, but it's like, fuck, we were doing everything at the same time too back then. Okay, I'll shut up.
True. Okay. So one of the things I did bring up going up to Montana to participate in a protest, to start a protest or doing something in Montana, because I don't live very far from Montana, it's just across the state of Idaho. And you can go north and then across in Idaho, in the very top of it is not very wide, 100 miles or something like that. And you can be through there before they even know you're there.
Right.
Anyway, and I was immediately met with, I do not want to get thrown in jail in Montana. And it stopped me cold in my tracks, because I don't blame them. Somebody that presents like they do, and they're going to end up in the wrong jail cell. And there's not going to be, and it's not a safe place. It's
well, if none of us, sure, like whatever, but it's like if none of us did that, it's like when Stonewall happened, you know what I mean? Like, listen to Miss Major. It's like what you do when stuff like that happens. You let yourself get hit in the head first, so you get knocked out, so at least you don't get your bones broken. You know what I mean? Like, they actually tell you like how to freaking do it like that. That's how badly they fought they fought so we could fucking like move forward. And it's if nobody does it, it's crazy.
I mean, I've already spent time in jail for my protests.
Well, there you go.
And I survived it.
Yeah. But where's the young radicals of today? Like that are gonna fucking like, are they just behind the sorry.
When I did the Trans Day of Visibility March in a little town like podunk town like Walla Walla,
right?
It was all organized by young people. They're out there.
Good.
I mean, we got to get out to that protest to see that they're out there. I was so impressed because I was by far the oldest person there.
Good.
That actually marched with them. There were other older people at the destination.
Good.
That couldn't walk that far. It was a long walk.
Well, why aren't they? It's like people need to get their cameras out and film this and put it up on Twitter and stuff like, or on TikTok and stuff. It's like, it's so, because that's why I'm saying like everything is suppressed so much that we have to like flood it with so much type of thing. So I really hope that people are doing that.
Well, we just have to get on here and keep talking about it.
Yeah. Well, that's why we decided to turn on the mics today and everything, because I would just like to take the whole summer off, but I would like to talk about why I want to take the whole summer off. So I think I'd just like to just blab with you, over the summer, you know what I mean? And the rest of it is just mental masturbation. Like, it's just, I'm so sick of it.
Right. Yeah. I get it.
Like even the trolls and the same old top 40 fucking like, statements to draw you into an argument. And there's all of these like like it's really popular for a lot of like creators like go live and they have opposition only lives, so they actually want to debate the trolls. And I'm like going, okay, I get it. It's like having the Christmas log on TV. Like it's good that channel's there for people that need to actually see a Christmas log, burning type of thing. But it's like there's so many fucking different channels. It's like, give me a break.
It's hyperbole. It's just there to inflate the views and to keep everybody pissed off. The thing that wins over hate is not more hate.
Yeah.
We need to change our approach and quit arguing.
Well, it's not even like it's laughable now. It's laughable. Like I just like honest to God, I feel like I'm in some really dingy truck stop bathroom. Just all this stuff written on the bathroom wall. It's just I call it bathroom wall. Like it's basically like reading the bathroom wall. Now when I'm on Twitter and I see trolls going mini back and forth, and when I see us, engaging with them too, it's just like, oh fuck, who cares? And then or it's like being in the 1980s. I always say this, like, and you're at the even in the 90s, you're at the grocery checkout, and you got all the crazy magazines are all on the left because it's the Star, the Inquirer, and there's always like some fucking UFO that anal probed Liz Taylor again or something, you know what I mean? And then on the other side, there's like there's Vogue and Wall Street Journal and shit, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, fuck. It's like, when will people realize that the internet is like the fucking toilet? It is like the toilet narrative of your brain.
And here we are.
And here we are on the internet, but we're different.
Oh yeah,
but we're different. Listen to us.
Yeah. Listen to us.
Listen to us. We're the agenda.
Oh,
look deep into my sunglasses. And repeat after me.
Oh my God.
I am transgender.
I am transgender.
God is transgender.
God is transgender.
Actually, God is beyond all fucking gender.
God is beyond all gender.
Yeah. A home.
Yeah.
Baby.
God is everything, including us.
Yeah, it's everything. Certainly not like some freaking guy with testicles up in an attic that's gonna give me a kitchen appliance if I blow my husband every time he wants to.
Isn't there's kitchen appliances involved?
Well, with my old higher power that I threw out, yeah.
Oh, no longer do you get kitchen appliances.
Oh my God, this is all going to get. Hey, I've got a question. We forgot this last time we were on, but aren't we brought to you by some company out there, like our show?
Well, our show is brought to you by Ray's Roast Coffee. And by the way, I am the proprietress of Ray's Roast Coffee. Who won a grant recently for being
fabulous,
marginalized business in this classic community. We specialize in single origin, single estate coffees. I prefer single estate coffees, but occasionally I do make the fabulous Queen's Blend and the 10-ton roast. There is there's a couple of coffee shops that do the 10-ton roast, and there's a whole bunch of people who thrive on the Queen's Blend. And these are wonderful, wonderful coffees. They are second to none. And so please, that's www.raysroast, REYSROAST.com.
And it is yummy.
Support would be appreciated.
Yes, support transgender elders and their part-time jobs that are fabulous. I've drank her coffee. I love it. Yeah, it'll be down below all the direct links and stuff too. Okay. Yeah, with all of Regina's stuff. Yay. We were going to talk about vaginas. Do you want to talk about vaginas? We're going to talk about neo vaginas. We'll do like we'll talk a little bit about it. Like I would there's but we both have vaginas.
We do indeed.
Yeah, and I got mine in when was it? 1997. 1997.
2017.
97, 2007, 2007. Oh, so 20 years later. 20 years later, I met you and you had your vagina.
Yeah, mine's
then,
a designer model.
Yeah, got designer vaginas. And yeah, it's like it's a topic that is so taboo and weird. And it's like, they probably even just saying the word on here, they'll go, oh my God, this is educational purposes. We are older trans women talking about our experiences, just like any other woman would talk about their experiences and their bodies and stuff. And we need to be able to share that with up and coming trans people.
Would this be considered agenda?
No, it's just healthcare. It'd be like talking to, my niece about, it's like,
right.
If I was able to get a period, like talking about my period.
If I may interject here.
Sure. Ooh. Okay.
If we're going to talk about this, we need to start talking about the beginning and dilation, because that is that area where there is so little information and nobody seems to be on the same page, as far as I can tell. It depends upon what your doctor tells you.
And depends upon the surgery that you got too.
Right.
Yeah. Because you and I got the outie to innie surgery.
Yeah, vaginoplasty.
Yeah, the classic penile inversion. I can't even. My toes still curl when I say that.
Oh, yeah, but the other thing, has anybody ever had one? I mean, listen to us. The other type where they take part of your.
Oh God, yeah. Oh sure, I'm sure. But like, we don't need people to like tell us that. But it's like, but it's a totally different type. I know that, and I'm not going to speak on it, and I'm not going to like guess or whatever. But it's like, when they do that Sigmund colon part of the thing, but there's also the one where they use the lining of the pelvic floor too. That's the newest one, and they do it all like with robots and stuff. They do it from the inside. It's like, it's amazing. So I'm not going to talk about that either.
Okay.
But when it just comes to SRS period, I think before even the physical part of it, like I don't even know if we'll get much into that. I just want to talk about the psychological part today, maybe. And maybe we can get into physical more, but it's like, when it comes to that, but it's like, of course, for me, it's like, I'll just say dilate till the cows come home or you'll be in trouble. And it's like, and if you do dilate for 10 years plus, it's like, you'll be able to get away with a lot, in the future, but don't fricking do that until you got at least 10 years behind you. But before that, it's like, I get so many young women, trans women that have not had the surgery yet, but it drives them crazy that they want to get it. That they want to get it. But when I check into their accounts and stuff, I realize that they use their anomaly. That's what I used to call it, like for to make money, and it's their livelihood. Or they're in relationships with men, long-term relationships, and usually by looking at them, I can tell that it's like, usually like if they're into that, like that's what they're into, right? Very, very few women that I know for heteronormative women had I've seen women that men stay with them afterwards. You know what I mean? Like it's very like, and that happened with me. I was married to somebody that I actually, divorced to. So then I continued on getting my surgery. So I just want to say to anybody that's out there thinking about it or wondering about it or whatever like that, it's like if it's great to question everything, You know what I mean? Like, medically, whatever. But if you want it bad enough, you'll do it. Doesn't matter. Like, I didn't care if I didn't care if I orgasmed. I didn't care if anything. I just did not want to have that thing there anymore. And I had to pose the question to myself in the end. It's like, if I could never be with another human being, like physically, like intimately, would I want to stay like this? And instantly, my thought was, no, I don't want to stay like that. I wouldn't want to stay like that. Then I was going, well, then why the fuck are you? Then what are you doing? So that was my that was when the penny dropped for me with that stuff. So can you talk to any of that?
Yeah, I can talk to some of that.
Thanks.
I absolutely agree with you. You will know that this is either the right way to go or it's not. I went because I never thought that I would be able to afford it.
Right.
And so I went to see the doctor who in our area who does it. And I was going to go just like, get an orky, this is just, at least I don't have to deal with those balls anymore. And then I would figure out a way to live. And so I go in there and he says, tell me your story. And he actually was a doctor who listened.
Wow.
And for 3 hours, we sat there together.
Wow.
And I told him my story and we chit-chatted. And then at about 2 hours and 15 minutes, he says, why don't you go all the way? And I said, if I could afford to, I would. And he says, we'll make sure you can afford to.
Wow.
I'll take your insurance.
I keep forgetting that's what happened. That's amazing.
And I didn't believe it.
Especially for your country.
I thought,
yeah,
this is not going to happen, but I'm going to do everything. And so I didn't get my hair removed, and I didn't even start. And then in January, I realized, oh my God, this is going to happen. He had given me the date of the 1st of May. And so I call up my local electrolysis. It's an hour and something away from my house here. And I said, we got to get this done. And she said, whoa, that's going to be difficult to get that all done in that length of time. And I said, well, we're going to do everything we can to do it. And I was putting out just huge dollars every month of very limited income.
I forgot about the electrolysis stuff.
I called up the doctors one time and I says, oh my God, I am not going to make the deadline here. And the nurse says to me, she says, Regina, you're getting operated on the 1st of May, come hell or high water. So shut up and just come to the hospital on the day you're assigned.
Right.
And that was it.
So now do you have hair growing out of your vagina?
Oh God, it's like this little point. It's like a paintbrush.
I know. It's like I braid mine and I put beads on it.
Yeah. The beads, little uncomfortable at times.
Okay.
Things work out the way they're supposed to. In my belief system, I was supposed to be supposed to be who I am today.
Yeah. So if you have any questions about it, you can leave it down in the comments below, or you can also check my socials out at the bottom, and you can leave a direct message if you're too embarrassed to leave a question. It's like, and I'll get to them at some point. And I don't even really think that there's much to talk about when it comes to physically about, I mentioned that about the dilation stuff. Like, do you have anything to add about that? Because I think we could just wrap up the whole, Pikachu thing now.
I just think that we need to be able to feel comfortable to talk about it.
Yeah.
And so we need to have the connection amongst our community because we are the only people who have gone through the experience. And so what do we think? I'm like, 6 years into this now, and I don't dilate often enough, but I have to.
And we pay for it.
Yeah, it it's necessary to do, and I'm not going to quit doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
find
think that the only fortunate thing is that, of course, you know, in this climate, especially down in your fucking country, and even here, like there in Vancouver, there's the provincial government had to get involved. There's this big highway overpass that these freaks have been like putting signs out, going like, you know, no trans kids. Trans kids are, it's delusional. It's like, don't stop mutilating them, like all that bullshit that's, you know, coming up from the States, right? But that was the same bunch of people that were doing the anti-vaxxer bullshit back in the pandemic. But yeah, it's just unfortunate that we can't, you know, when we talk about our bodies, when it comes to as transgender women and what we have to go through in a communal way that we're trying to pass on information, it's unfortunate that these sickos like hijack the conversation, and you see like them talking about, you know, or doing like pictures of like what we go through, and that would be like them talking about women and showing them the menstrual cycle and laughing at it and everything, you know what I mean? Like it's just like, it's just so gross. And it's like, and so it's unfortunate that we're in this eugenics type of era after our like renaissance of the transgender experience in modern Judo-Christian world type of thing, right? Yeah.
Amen. You know, what right do these people have to go instilling fear in any of us? You know,
Or even, yeah, or just being like just downright, like it's downright hate speech is what it is, right?
absolutely.
Yeah, and it's just,
When you realize that they are making children afraid, be fearful of the public in general. Wow. You
yeah.
know, that's so far out of line.
But the great thing, but then the great thing is too, is that they're putting so much, they're giving us so much airtime that it'll naturally get diluted with the truth, and just, you know, and it's like, and just there'll always be the fringes of people that hate us, just like there's the racist that's always racist, that generationally, but it'll become more diluted as, you know, we just become part of the vernacular more, right? It's like, it's just that people never talked about it. People go, wasn't it better in the 70s and 80s? And I'm going, not really. I don't even know how to answer that, because really it's just it just wasn't in somebody's brain to think about somebody that transitions. There was no trans word. It was like, and if they did, it was like, oh yeah, well, but that's like a medical thing. And people would just go, oh, okay, whatever type of thing. You know, it wasn't a big deal unless you're like some freak about it. But yeah, that's what it was.
And the other thing is so many of those laws that have been passed this year, of those 400 laws that have been passed in the various state legislatures, have not held up with the test of the court.
Yeah.
And
as it goes through the courts.
And so, you know, let's all be calm and fight for our rights.
And thank God. And thank goddess that you have to actually get law degrees to become a judge, so they can actually vote on you. Because could you imagine if they just like, they just put, you know, oh, you don't need to have like your bar license to be a judge so that we can point you to fucking courts. You know what I mean? Like, thank God that there's that. At least there's that.
Oh, you know what? I haven't talked to you about the last couple of days. Not to change the subject, but
how much you love me.
Well, I do love you, Marty, but I am going to throw my name in the ring to take over a vacated city council position.
Oh, that's fabulous. Oh my God. So where? Like in Walla Walla?
No, here in Dayton, in this little town that I live in. Yeah,
that's great.
Large positions that was held by a ultra conservative. He's walked away from his position. And so I've got until just after the 4th of July. I've got a campaign manager.
Oh my
you know?
God, I didn't know that.
And I mean, it's not an election, it's an appointment. But I think there's still like 2 years left on the deal. So
That's fabulous. Oh my God.
just gonna
But
throw
it's
my
held by,
name
but it was held by an ultra conservative. So why would they do some liberal tranny commie?
because it's up to the mayor. And he is not an ultra conservative.
Oh, but then in 2 years you'd have to get voted,
Yeah.
and they'd probably like have your head on a stick in 2 years.
Yeah, who knows? I might not even be alive in 2 years. I mean, I don't know if I'll get it or not. I don't care. I just want to make sure there's a liberal socialist.
Well, in 2 years, if you have to run for it, I want to come down and act like you're a fucking I don't know. We do something weird to make some big publicity happen.
There you go. And tonight I'm going to go meet the governor candidate for the state of Washington.
Oh, cool. Who's that?
Some guy. He's like the attorney general here in Washington State now. So he's his last name's Ferguson, Bob Ferguson.
Oh my God! So we better start behaving, eh? We can't like be so rowdy with your.
That I'm a.
They're gonna say she hangs out with that crazy Canadian communist transgender woman.
Yeah. I'm out to like change the world here.
Yay. That's fantastic. So thanks everybody for listening. It's like, I know this was a bit disjointed, but we thought we'd throw something up. Please really enjoy the beginnings of your summer. Happy summer. Take it easy. And, if the sun comes up but the creeks don't rise, as they say, we'll see you again. And remember to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell for other anything that's going on with our station.
Yeah, do it. And so, enjoy life. Each and every one of you. Get out, take a walk. Just take a walk. I don't care if you do it in the park, out in the woods, or just down the street. Exercise.
Self-care.
Enjoy life.
Dilate if you have a neo vagina, and
that's exactly what I'm going to do.
And love one another, and
be kind.
Pass the lube and kumbaya. I love you guys.
Love you. It's